started in fashion?
Well, I was a young guy. I've always been a creative person, individual, and so I started painting when I was 5, just watercolors, and I loved flowers. That's what I always paint. I mostly paint them for my mom and my grandmother. And then when I was 8, I started playing the piano, which I fell in love with, and I did that for my entire life throughout high school. And I was very passionate about the piano. I practiced, maybe 4 to 6 hours a day. It was just like my life. And I thought that I was going to go into college to study film scoring. That was my dream. On, graduation, I was just burnt out. I was totally burnt out from just overdoing it so much. And so I started, looking into fashion and really getting into that. I was really into like thrift stores and putting looks together and kind of mimicking what I was seeing trend-wise in magazines. And so I got a job with a milliner as a milliner's apprentice, and so I was learning how to make felts and blocking hats and doing all that. So that's how I started out with like the fashion end of it. She knew, my mentor Susan Murphy, that I was interested in fashion, actual garments, and so she offered to teach me, the skills of flat patterning and draping and all just the basic technical skills of sewing. And so I started practicing sewing, and my first job was sewing zippers into purses.
Oh wow!
It's called piecework. So like
really difficult.
Yeah, and I got paid 75 cents per zipper. And so that was a lot of zipper sewing, and I'm still really bad at zippers.
Yes.
Like it's terrible.
You must know the perfect zipper though.
I know how to work a zipper, but there was a portfolio contest online, and it was all for this company was looking for like a winning design of a garment, and they had different categories. And I sent in all the stuff that I had been working on with Murphy. They called me and they said that I had won, and the trip was to come out to New York to see your sample made into, your garment into a sample to take to trade show and see, amazing. And then you get like,
if the buyers
the money
like
from it and stuff, And so when I came out, I showed this company my everything, and they're like really excited, and they just put my entire work on a garment rack, and we went to trade show, and we opened up a huge account, 2 huge accounts that they were trying to break into.
Oh, that's amazing. And
so the next day, the owner, the company was offering me, a contract to like get paid. It was an insane amount of money from me as a 19-year-old. Stayed in New York, and I was working. I was happy, and I was 19 and making money and living on my own in New York City. It was a dream come true. And beyond that, like everything that I experienced, I learned was really on the jobs, because it was a small company.
It's the best way.
So I was working directly with my pattern maker. I was art directing like everything from the catalog to the booth design. I'd hit the streets and source out my own fabrics. I'd go to the sample rooms. And I broke my hip, and I went back to Denver, and back to New York. Back to Denver. I always feel like New York is this place that if it doesn't want you here, they'll tell you, like one way or another, so it'll tell you go home. So I went home. I couldn't find any work, and I really wanted to apply my skills to a job that, I would love to do. I'm a firm believer is that you have to do what you like, or you're not going to be, you're just not going to be happy.
You have to do your passion.
And so I found a job in a theater, in a professional theater in the wardrobe department. I started out as a stitcher, and that's where I really honed my skills as a stitcher.
Oh.
Like just using the machine, because these women that were at the theater had been sewing for like 30 plus years, so they know their stuff. And I came in here, I have basic skills, but I'm not nearly as talented as them in stitching, and so I'm a fast learner, and I really wanted to keep up with them, and I didn't want to get fired. So